You did.
I get to have a little fun with you guys while mom and dad are taking care of business elsewhere. So anyway, look forward to just kind of sharing something that's been on my heart with you all and something that's really impacted my business. So, Trish, are we good to go?
You're good.
Great. Awesome. Well, once again, so glad that you are on the webinar this morning. It's going to be kind of short, sweet, to the point, but hopefully an impactful message, especially as we get into the holidays. I don't know if it's hard for anyone else to believe that it's November, but I keep on having to remind myself that we're almost to Thanksgiving. So happy early Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas to everyone out there. I always love seeing the Christmas decor out and hearing Christmas music. So hopefully you're enjoying that as well. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So when as many of you know, my background is ministry, and I used to work for a church in Birmingham. I'm actually in Birmingham today, but I worked for a church in Birmingham called Church of the Highlands, and loved my role there. And I did a message for the students that was kind of on the same topic that we're going to talk about today. The whole concept of, are we living life according to the mindset of a get-to mindset or have-to mindset? Get-to mindset being more of a devotion, commitment, excited, passionate about what we get to do, versus a have-to being an obligation kind of mindset. So what I realized is in my LegalShield business that I had a period of time where I felt like LegalShield business was something I had to do. And not necessarily because someone was forcing it upon me, but it was, I had to produce to make money. I had to, make a sale, or else, I wasn't going to get Performance Club, different things like that. And my business became more of a burden than a blessing. And maybe some of you have been there. Maybe you are there right now. My goal is for all of us to transition from a have-to mentality or mindset to a get-to. What I realized was the moment I changed my mindset, I changed my income. And in the last, I think, a little over 2.5 years of doing this business, I have quadrupled my income. This year hit a really astounding goal, which I'll share with you in the next couple weeks. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get into the first slide. So I want to share with you a quick story about something, one of my personal experiences where this whole principle of the get to versus have to really came alive to me. So track with me for a second. If you can see my screen, there's two pictures. The picture on the top left is Mount LeConte. So for those of you in Colorado, and for those of you that have much bigger mountains than we do in Tennessee, you may or may not be able to appreciate this, but Mount LeConte is one of the highest mountains in all of Tennessee. And when I was in ministry school, one of my first years in ministry school, we, as students, were told that we were going to take a trip to Mount LeConte to do some hiking, which I was thrilled about. I love the outdoors. I'm an athletic girl. I was like, yes, of course, this is going to be great. Mount LeConte is beautiful. I think it's about roughly 7 miles to the top, pretty much, obviously, uphill the entire way. But I was super pumped. So anyway, we were camping. We get there the first night. We set up our camp. We took a great campfire meal, and we ended up going to sleep, wake up the next morning, taking our vans up to the bottom of the mountain. So we get, unloaded, and we're ready to go, ready to hike up this mountain, and I am just once again gung-ho. It's a beautiful day. Just pumped, I'm with all these students that I've been doing life with for several months, and it's been great. Well, out of nowhere, the leadership decides that they're going to pull out some stretchers. As you can see, the bottom right-hand picture of a stretcher. And I'm like thinking to myself, okay, stretchers, that's interesting. I guess we're doing that just in case someone trips and falls and hurts themselves. Well, that's, we're hiking. I mean, it can't be that dangerous. Well, long story short is what I didn't know was that we were going to be carrying our teammates up the mountain. And initially, I was like, okay, this is going to be really interesting. And what happened is we were split up into a couple of teams of about 8 to 10 people each. And here's what we had to do. So we were required from the moment that we left the parking lot to the moment we got to the very top, once again, 7 miles, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're carrying people, it becomes a lot. 7 miles, we had to carry our teammates up the mountain the entire way in 10-minute increments. Now, keep in mind here, I think we had, 7 guys and 2 girls. And these guys weren't just, these guys, there were some of them that weighed, 200-300 pounds. And so, we had to transition. Every 10 minutes, we'd switch a person carrying them up the mountain. This was one of the hardest things I have ever done in my entire life. If you think about it, if you're hiking on a trail, if you're carrying someone like that, it's a thin trail, it's, your hands are hurting, your shoulders are hurting, you're constantly adjusting. Every 10 minutes you're constantly carrying someone. We had also gallons of water, so we were constantly chipping in. So long story short is, when I initially found this out, my mentality was more of a, are you kidding me? This is something I have to do. You're telling me I have to carry my teammates up the mountain? And I was pretty upset about it. I was like, this guy weighs a lot of, he weighs a lot. It's going to be heavy for us girls. And so I started to think about myself. Well, anyway, the first couple, hours into this hike up the mountain, it was miserable. It was completely miserable. And I had this realization, kind of in the middle of the mountain, I had this realization of, you have a choice. You have a choice to either make this a great experience that changes your life forever, or a terrible experience all because of your mindset. And so I had to transition my mindset from a have-to mindset, this is something I have to do, an obligation I'm required to as a ministry school student, to something that I got to do, a get-to mindset. And I tell you what, folks, when I changed my mindset from this being something I had to do to something I got to do, it completely changed my experience. For whatever reason, the pain wasn't as obvious. We were laughing, we were joking, everything changed. I was able to lead my team up the mountain to success, to where we made it to the very top in a decent amount of time, and to celebrate, what a great accomplishment. So this moment is forever, I guess ingrained in my mind, because that was a very specific moment in my life where I had the opportunity to choose between a have-to obligation to a get-to devotion mindset. And my question today is, what is your mindset relative to your business? Is your business something you feel like you have to do, an obligation because you need money? Or is it something that you wake up every day devoted to, excited that you get to be a part of the LegalShield business? So there's 2 different mindsets, obviously, and here's kind of another page that illustrates the 2 mindsets. As you can see, the guy on the left is kind of more of a have-to kind of guy. He's not excited. He views his life, his business, as more of an obligation than the guy on the right, which is I get to. He's devoted. So my question to you is today, waking up this morning, which one are you? And I think each day, might change a little bit, but my goal is that we would all be the guy on the right, waking up each day realizing this is something that we get to do. No one forced you into the LegalShield business. No one forced you to sign up. You're doing this because you realize the purpose behind it. So let's talk about, what does the have-to mindset look like? How do you know if you have possibly a have-to mindset? Well, first of all, you might spend more time thinking about yourself, about your needs, than others. Thinking about, what's best for you versus what's best for your team and for others. Secondly, you only do what is convenient for you. Thinking back to hiking Mount LeConte, there was often times where I was looking to, figure out the best way, the best spot to carry, the cot, and which was most convenient for me because, in other ways it was painful. Well, that's not exactly how that was supposed to play out. We're doing that as a team. It's about what's best for my team, not just what's best for me. So a have-to mindset, you do what is convenient for you. A have-to mindset, your business and relationships and other areas of your life are more like a burden than a blessing. Number 4 is you find yourself not enjoying your day-to-day activity. You wake up and you're like, oh, I have to make another call, or I have to do this, or I have to fill out this report, or I have to, and it becomes more of a strain than it is, actually something you enjoy. And number 5 is a have-to mindset. Oftentimes you're not producing the results you hoped for. I remember when we were hiking Mount LeConte, the first half of the mountain, we were arguing, we were fighting, we were mad at each other, we were in pain, people were almost falling off the cot. It was miserable. We were not producing the results that we hoped for because we were coming from a have-to mindset versus something that we get to do. We get to do this in order to help us grow as leaders. So if you can see this bottom picture, I thought this was funny. You know, the picture says, remember that time we came to work and we were excited? Me neither. Okay, that's the majority of America. You know, they go to work not extremely excited. That's not us. That's not supposed to be us in LegalShield. There's been definite times in my business that it wasn't very exciting. I wasn't very pumped about getting up and going to work. Once again, because I was coming from more of a have-to mindset versus a get-to mindset. So think about your life for a second. And oftentimes what you see on these webinars is it's not just about your business per se, because, you know, our goal and our passion for you and your family is that you succeed in every area of your life, your business being one of them. But what about your marriage? What about your parenting? What about your relationship with the Lord? What about, you know, your physical fitness? What about your home? You know, just different things like that. What about your financial status? You know, being successful in every area of your life. So my question to you and evaluate this, and I feel like this is timely going into the holidays, and what areas do you feel you are obligated to versus devoted to? For instance, there's two mindsets that we can have when it comes to working out. Oh, I've got to go work out. Oh, I don't want to work out, or, you know, I'd rather just watch TV or whatever. So we feel like we have to work out or whatever. Versus thanking the Lord or being thankful for the fact that we can work out. Yesterday I was running in Nashville and I was thinking, you know what? The fact that I am healthy enough to actually get out and run is a beautiful thing. Next up is you can see a laundry basket there. I mean, obviously, you know, especially if you have kids, you probably have a laundry room that could oftentimes be full of clothes. You know, there's two perspectives here. There's, oh, I have to fold laundry, or the fact that you get to fold laundry because you have enough clothes to provide for your family. You know, there's a little child on the picture. You know, I have to take my kids to school, or I have to do this, or, you know, I have to deal with a child that's kind of a stinker right now, or a rebellious child. Well, the reality is God blessed you with healthy children, and that's something to be grateful for. Additionally, you can see kind of a picture down in the left-hand corner, family, in-laws. You know, oh, I have to go see family, or I have to go see my in-laws. Well, what about the fact that you have family? Celebrate the fact that you get to spend time with family. There's two different mindsets here. And my goal is to just illustrate the fact that if you change your mindset, or really look into which mindset you approach certain aspects of your life with, that can help you understand why you may not be producing the results that you want to. For instance, the relationship that you have with the Lord, you know, is it something that you feel like you are obligated to do, or is it something that you are excited about and devoted to? You know, being in full-time ministry, it was easy for me to come from a place of obligation because I was in church all the time. And I oftentimes felt like the Lord spoke to me and said, Brielle, don't come to me out of your relationship because of your obligation. Come to me because you're devoted to me. And the same goes for your marriage. The same goes for your kids. The fact that my parents, I have such a great relationship with my parents because I know that they're not obligated to parent me, but they're devoted to lead me. They're devoted because God called them to. So as you can see, and this is just a couple of examples, but I want you to kind of think, just sit back and think about your life. Which areas are you obligated to, and which areas are you devoted to? How can you change your mindset from a have to a get to? As many of you know, on this next slide, Mr. James Rousseau sends out quotes every morning. If you haven't subscribed to that, I highly encourage that you do so. But this is the one this morning, and I thought it was extremely timely. It said, often people ask me, you know, how I manage to be happy despite having no arms and no legs. The quick answer is that I have a choice. I can be angry about not having limbs, or I can be thankful that I have a purpose. I chose gratitude. And I think that needs to be all of us. I think that no matter what we do or don't have in our business, in our life, we need to choose gratitude, because the fact that we're breathing is a testimony to the fact that we have a purpose, and all of us are called to something greater. So my question to you is, what if changing your mentality from have to get to could quadruple your income? And what exactly does a get to mentality look like? I think if we all knew that quadruple our income, we'd say, hey, sign me up right now. Well, let's talk about a get-to mentality, and kind of these are some principles that, you know, obviously really transform my business. Number one is you spend more time thinking about your team than yourself. My question to you would be, when's the last time you hosted an event or a recognition night specifically for your team, brought them together, poured into them, even outside their business, just looked them in the eyes and said, hey, I believe in you. We did that the other night, a couple of nights ago or a couple of weeks ago in the Knoxville market with our Knoxville kind of team, just a small little dinner and get together. And it was incredibly rewarding because we got to celebrate on a smaller scale the successes and the dreams of all of our teammates and producers. The second thing is you only do what is best for others. Are you constantly looking to do what's best for others? And I'm talking about best for the HR directors you serve, best for the brokers that you serve, best for the clients you serve, best for your consumer base, best for your recruits. What are you doing that is what's best for your other people that you serve or best for the people that you care for the most? Number three is when you have the get-to mentality, your business and relationships feel like a blessing, not a burden. Hey, if you have some background noise out there, I'll try to mute you real quick. Okay, I think it's gone away. So your business and relationships feel like a blessing, not a burden. The reality is everything you do in life should be a blessing, not a burden. Because if you're coming from a have or a get-to mindset, you wake up every day with a gratitude of realizing that this is something that every day, the day that you're given today, you get to take advantage of, you get to make the most of. Number four is you find yourself enjoying your day-to-day activities. I remember at the beginning of my business, when I was coming from more of a have-to mindset, more of an obligation mindset, I didn't enjoy my business. I was miserable, I was stressed, I was overwhelmed. It was more of just a burden than it was a blessing. When I transitioned, this is something that I get to do. I choose to have the right mentality. I get to do this business. That's when everything changed. I started to enjoy my day-to-day activities. I went to networking events with a joy and an excitement because it was something that I got to do. I got to serve others and bring value to families through our service. Last but not least is when you have a get-to mindset, you end up producing the results that you had hoped for. As I mentioned, there's been periods in my business where I had the have-to versus the get-to mindset. And the have-to, when I had that mindset, I wasn't producing the income or the results that I wanted to. I was getting rejected more. I wasn't as confident about what I was presenting. The results were not there. When I decided to change from a have-to a get-to, more of the mission perspective, the results came. And the results have been coming in droves ever since then, and it's been so much fun because that's how it's supposed to be for each and every one of us. So let's get back to the get-to mindset. Okay, a couple of things real quick. This is my challenge to you today. And I want you to take notes on this if you can. I know some of you are probably driving. But number one is I want you to remember why you fell in love with LegalShield. Okay? Remember, go back to the very reason why you were attracted to this business in the first place. Was it the product? Was it the time freedom? Was it financial freedom? What is the reason why you said yes to LegalShield? What's the passion that drives you each day? Okay? Secondly, is look to use your business. Look to use your business as a vehicle to bless, honor, and serve others. Have a servant-hearted approach. That changes everything. I cannot even begin to tell you how many times going above and beyond with my clients has produced incredible results. A recent client that I enrolled, we had extreme success in this enrollment, but the reason why is because I told the leadership, I said, you know what, I'm willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes during this enrollment period to make sure as many employees as possible are educated on our plan. And that equated to 35 presentations over a period of 3 weeks. I was so sick and tired of hearing myself talk, but it was so worth it because we all know that face-to-face educational presentation makes the biggest difference. So look to use your business as a vehicle to bless, honor, and serve others. If that's not why you do this business, then you're in it for the wrong reason. When you have this servant-hearted approach, I can promise you that the income will come tenfold, if not more. Number 3 is identify and know why it is you do what you do, so the mission behind it. So what is the mission behind, your approach to this business? I don't think this can be talked about enough, because I think that it's always important for us to get back to the mission aspect, because it's easy to fall in love with the commission or the different, the incentive trips or different things like that. But what's the mission behind it? What is the mission that you are driving to fulfill relative to how it might impact your community or impact others? Number 4 is claim the leadership role as CEO for your LegalShield business. I cannot even begin to tell you how many unprofessional LegalShield associates I have come up across in the marketplace that have almost ruined business for me altogether. Matter of fact, I did lose an 800-employee account because of a certain individual who is extremely unprofessional. Well, long story short is, I think all of us need to realize that even though you're an independent associate, you're still the CEO of your business. You're the CEO. And imagine if you had employees, okay? Imagine if you had, your team can be employees in some regard, but how would you expect that they act? How would you expect that they treat others? The very thing that you would expect of an employee is the very thing you should be expecting of yourself, and if not, taking it to the next level as the CEO of your own company. I don't think that as, us as LegalShield associates always realize that we are a business owner, and taking on the hat and the ownership of a business owner, you go the extra mile when you have that type of ownership and that responsibility. So remember, today, if you haven't had this mindset before, start today with owning your business as the CEO of your future, of your company, and make it what you dream of it to be. Last but not least is commit to growth by reading, studying, and surrounding yourself with other leaders. The fact that you're on this call this morning says that you are interested in becoming a better leader, and I am so proud of you and so excited for you on this journey, because that is so important. The commitment to growth and reading and studying and continuously becoming better, and having another producer come to your presentation, hear your presentations, critique you, and provide you feedback, that's so important. So a couple things again: passion, a servant-hearted approach, mission perspective, ownership of your CEO position of your business, and commitment. Those are all ways to get back to the get-to mindset. So let's talk about the results real quick. So what might the results be of a get-to mindset? As I mentioned earlier, I have quadrupled my income. I will hopefully, there's a couple of things closing out at the end of this year, but I have in just 2 years, I have literally quadrupled what used to be my full-time income at my previous job. And I don't say that to brag or to boast, but I say that because I hope that's encouraging to you, because a lot of you have income dreams and really potential that you have not reached yet. And I would encourage you to go for it, because it's possible, especially when you have the right mindset. So the results of a get-to mindset can be the following. You get referrals. How many of us love referrals? Satisfied customers. We hate free cancels, right? So you want to have satisfied customers. You want to present well to keep them on the books. When you have a get-to mindset, you have satisfied customers. Your business is full of abundance. You have favor. You have purpose. You have joy. You have prosperity. You develop as a leader. You have production. Your performance club qualifies. You make the incentive trips. That's all the results of a get-to mindset versus a have-to mindset. Deuteronomy 30:19, it says, "Today I have given you a choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. Oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants may live." The reality is, folks, we have the choice. We have the choice to present each day in every aspect of our life with either a have-to or a get-to mindset. My encouragement to you, my challenge to you is, especially as we get into the holiday season, is to every little aspect of your life, ask yourself, am I entering this with a have-to or a get-to mindset, and make sure that it is truly a get-to mindset. So a couple questions real quick, and we'll kind of open up the lines. The first question is, and I'd love to hear any feedback, comments, and any questions that you have, feel free to ask. but how can you have more of a get-to mentality in your business and maybe even in your life period? How can you have more of a get-to mindset in your business? Secondly is, how can the right mindset help your business grow? Maybe you're like me. Maybe you've had seasons where you didn't necessarily have the right mindset, and you changed your mindset, and now you're seeing tremendous success. I would love to hear that story. And also, what is one goal that you would like to accomplish before 2016? Okay, so that kind of finalizes the call as far as my presentation portion. What I would like to do real quick before we kind of open up the lines, I would like to go out to some of our leadership on the phone. So if we can just go out to, starting off, Mr. Bob Cohen. Are you out there? Would you like to make some comments relative to the call?
I am here. I love the topic. Brielle, thank you so much for sharing and bringing this up. It's just such a great, it's so simple that unfortunately most people will miss it throughout their day of, what is their attitude? We talk about this all the time. Brielle, can I throw a question at you real quick?
Yeah.
How do you start your day on a daily basis? I'm just kind of curious you must have a process that you go through. I'm just kind of curious your day, because it probably sets the whole tone for the rest of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I start my day, first of all, thanking the Lord for the many blessings that I have. I think that oftentimes it's easy in our world to compare. It's easy to get caught up in, what everybody has around us and forget the many blessings that we have. And the fact that we have, like I said, family and clothes that we own and a home to live in. And we are so much better off than most people. So I start my day with an attitude of gratitude, which a lot of us do, and I think that's a daily discipline that is extremely important, because it's easy to just jump out of bed and get the day going. Secondly, I also start with reading. I try to read a devotional every morning to just kind of fix my thoughts from the right perspective, really to the get-to mentality versus the have-to. And I've also decided that throughout my day, if ever I switch mentality, so if ever I begin to lean over to the have-to mentality, the obligation, I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed, whatever reason, I will get back to gratitude, being thankful for what I do have, putting on some worship music, or just reading the Bible. Those are just a couple of different practical things that I do. Some of you might have a great leadership book that I would recommend that you go to, possibly if you're, having some thoughts that are not, right about yourself. But I think the biggest thing, Bob, is the whole gratitude piece, and I think that you're one great example of living out gratitude in all that you do. So does that help a little bit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you're very athletic. Do you exercise in the morning, in the evening? When do you kind of fit that in?
I haven't been exercising like I need to lately, because I've been literally, I know. I've traveled for like a month straight. So, no, but seriously though, like yesterday I went for a run, and I try to at least get in, 30 minutes every day if I can. But it just depends on my schedule. I just would encourage everyone to make time for that, because that is our health is a priority, and ultimately if we're not healthy, we can't lead a successful business. But do you have anything that you do, Bob, that has been successful for you?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's Tony Robbins talks about your hour of power, and that's the first thing in the morning. No one can grab that. That's mine. And same thing. I'm always, before I get out of bed, I'm even thinking about, all right, what's some positive things going on here in my life? What's going to happen today? So I'm really right there, even before I put a foot outside the bed, I'm already thinking and planning out how my day's going to work out. And then, just a little bowl of oatmeal to kind of get things going for me. And then I'm actually in the gym. I'll go work out for an hour, do some weights, do some cardio, and then I go walk my dog. And most of the time, I'm listening to something positive. When I'm walking my dog, it could be one of our replay calls. It could be, a CD from John C. Maxwell or Jim Rohn. And I'm truly, my mornings are mine, so that, by every bit of, probably every bit of 9 o'clock, I'm ready to go and, get after the day. And that could be returning phone calls. That could be setting up sit-down appointments. And I love your topic because, I love going to networking events. I always have a goal of at least one networking event a week. Many times I'm doing 2, 3 a week. And I just have so much fun just meeting people, building the rapport. I'm not wearing my LegalShield shark hat, at those events. I'm just there to simply meet people and have fun. And then, of course, we'll exchange business cards, and I'll give it a couple days, and then I'll follow up. I take my notes when I do meet people, so that way when I do make that follow-up call, it's a lot easier. It's a lot more comfortable to kind of remind the person what we talked about or where we met. And then again, I'm just out there meeting people, sharing this wonderful service because we get to share this wonderful service, and that's the whole premise of your call. So thank you so much for letting me share, and back to you.
Absolutely. Awesome, awesome. And I bet, Bob, if you continue on a little bit and talk more about, the differences between the days that you don't do your power hour and the days that you do, that there would be a distinct difference. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a habit. Yeah, I'll cheat, I'll mess up, one, you know what I mean? Sure, absolutely, we're human, but that's what Darcy's book is all about, folks. It's doing those, getting into those habits, those success habits. So again, it's just takes a few days to get into that, and everyone can do it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your leadership and your comments. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to open up kind of the lines to those that would like to share. If you do not start talking, I'm going to start calling on you because I want to hear your feedback. So,
yeah, good for you.
Those questions I talked about earlier, and you can see on the screen, is how can you have more of a get-you mentality in your business? How can the right mindset help your business grow? And what is one goal that you would like to accomplish before 2016? Before I go out to some of our ring runners and leaders, I want to go out to Mr. CJ, our BD. Are you out there, CJ?
Hi, Brielle. Can you hear me?
Hey, good morning.
How are you? It's great to hear.
Great. Let me know your thoughts on the call this morning.
Well, first of all, as always, these webinars are just unbelievably amazing, and I got to hand it to you. You did a bang-up job on this one. Phenomenal. I really love the analogy that you started out with in the beginning, telling the story about hiking up the mountain, and that's challenging enough. I often equate LegalShield as we hike up a mountain, and in the beginning it could be done by yourself. It really could be, but then you started talking about carrying people up the mountain, and that could really be a daunting task. And a part of our mountain, once you go, senior director, executive director, and beyond, really, although could be done by yourself, is very challenging, and having a team along with you makes it a lot more fun. But I was also thinking about carrying people up a mountain. That's not as fun. Sometimes you have stuff like that, but it's more about we get to lead. We get to lead our team up the mountain. It's kind of like I'm reaching back, saying, "Follow me. I'm in the trenches with you." Exactly like God and us. Like we're all in trials of our life, and God didn't say it would be easy, but I'm leading you, so follow me. Just to put that spiritual aspect into it, because I love how the leadership always puts spirituality into this. That's the one thing that changed my business, is when I started doing it from God's point of view first. And really, this leads into my goal for before 2016 is here. Truly, I really want to assist 4 more associates fast start qualify, because that I get more excited. Look, I can produce, and that's fine, but that's not why I'm in this business. I'm in this business to help somebody else so that they can change their life. There's nothing more exciting to me than when an associate on the team markets their first membership, fast start qualifies, hits a milestone. It really speaks volumes for the organization. It's just an incredible feeling. So that's my thoughts. Definitely want to fast start qualify 4 more associates by the end of 2015. Ms. Hoffman, thank you so much. You did a phenomenal job. Congratulations on all your success.
Awesome. You too, CJ. You are an incredible leader. So thankful to have you part of the ShieldNation family. And I think you made a great point. The illustration earlier of carrying people up the cot, that's not necessarily how we want to treat our associates from the standpoint of us feeling like we have to carry them through this business, because that's not at all our responsibility. Our responsibility, just like you said, CJ, is to lead them and set the example so they know who to follow in a sense, and ultimately empower them to become the leader that God called them to be. So great example there. Once again, thanks so much for sharing your heart, and congrats to your success. Miss Teresa Johnson, are you out there? Miss Teresa Johnson, are you there?
Here, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and share your thoughts.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought my Bluetooth was on.
Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Yes, you're great.
Excellent webinar this morning, and I love this, having a mindset of, got to, or, get to or have to. And, I often tell people that, you can work this business so that you can have the life that you want to have, or you can have the life that you have to have. And it's such a huge difference. And, the whole time while I was listening to you, I was thinking a couple of things. One was, oftentimes when we don't have the attitude of gratitude, we're complaining about not having any shoes to wear until you meet that man. And that just changes your whole perspective. Why am I complaining? Things we're all going to have challenges in our lives, but we're not measured by our problems by how well we handle them. And so the fact that we get to have those challenges helps us to grow and to be better. And I'm thinking about your second question about how can the right mindset help your business to grow. And I think back to when I first got started in the work environment, straight out of college, and just had this whole different mindset. Many people would not believe, but when I started working for Uncle Sam, I had a very militant attitude. I was Miss Angela Davis with the big fro, militant, until one day one of my mentors set me down and she said, you know what? You will never go far with Uncle Sam until you change your attitude, until you stop feeling like you need to challenge every single thing. Look at what you have. So many people are not blessed to be where you are, but you're here. This may not be where you want to be, end up, but you have the opportunity because you're on a platform that's going to propel you to limits that you never even imagined. And just from that one conversation, having a mentor to sit down with me and just really give it to me straight changed my life literally overnight. I became a completely different person. And in my office, I started being the one that they selected to do different things. I started raising my hand to take on the harder tasks. And before I knew it, I got thrown into a very fast pace in terms of moving up with my career. And that was definitely a direct result of changing my mindset. So being able to have the right mindset is huge when it comes to even growing your business in LegalShield. If you're always complaining, corporate did this, corporate did that, I can't trust this, I can't trust that, my team did this, my team did that, then that's what you get because, like you said, your words have life. And you're giving life to all of that. And so you have to be really careful about what you even speak out of your mouth because it can come true. You will attract that you don't want to attract. And so we have to be really, really mindful of what it is that we want, have the right mindset, because if you show up with the right mindset, your team is always watching you. You may not think that they're not paying attention, but they're always watching you. And if you start to look at some of the things going on with your own business and wonder, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Start to look at yourself and see if your team is really just following, duplicating what you're doing. And we say this is a duplicatable business, and that means whether it's good activity or bad activity. So we just have to really be careful. So great webinar, and one of the goals, like the previous gentleman, I want to recruit 5 people between now and the end of the year and help them get Fast Start qualified. I just want to do it because I've not been a big recruiter. You know, I'll sell the memberships, but I haven't been a big recruiter, and I'd like to really change that and become a stronger recruiter than I have been in the past. So with that, I turn the call back over to you, Ms. Hoffman. Excellent job this morning.
Awesome. Well, preach, girl. That was some good stuff right there. I love your story. It's about how important it is to have the right mindset and how you've seen how that right mindset has changed your life and your business and your previous career and really your LegalShield business too. And I look forward to celebrating those 5 new associates that get Fast Start qualified in December. So you go for it. I want to go out to kind of a relatively newer producer who's actually one of our producers in the Knoxville area, background of HR for 25 years, Mr. Glenn Slidell. But first of all, I want to congratulate him. He is already platinum qualified for December. So he has, he actually just got his BMW too, which I'm kind of stealing his thunder. He should tell you that. But Glenn, would you share your success story and just your thoughts relative to the webinar?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I'm in Panera, so I don't know what the noise factor is like. Well, actually, I had trouble connecting because of the machines I'm finally on. So quite frankly, I missed the webinar. But I know the concept that you're talking about, and I was really glad to hear that was the title of the webinar because that's really something I need to be thinking about. And I'm going to look forward to listening to the webinar on the archive. But in terms of the concept, I think it's really important to have the get to rather than have to mentality, because this is a great service that we have to share with people. It's very comprehensive, both of them, and they're also very affordable. And so I think that missionary mindset, this is something we have to share with people, is so critical. It's not something we have to sell in order to survive. It's something we get to share in order to thrive, I guess is a good way to look at it. So just the concept is all I can comment on right now because I didn't have the webinar, but I look forward to hearing it probably over the weekends when I'm going to pick it up. So
awesome.
What else did you ask me, Brielle?
No, good deal. Would you like to share kind of how you got to your BMW, the kind of success principles that got you there, and then also to the platinum level?
Well, in terms of the BMW, I think whoever thought up the concept of Performance Club was a genius because it's motivation like a carrot instead of a stick. In other words, it's something to keep us moving forward on a very basic level, as in you need to get Performance Club at a minimum. But like John Hoffman has said many times, don't let somebody else's minimum be your maximum. So I think it's wise if you're shooting for 5 a month, shoot for 10 a month. If you're shooting for 10 a month, shoot for 15 a month, because you never know what's going to work and what isn't. So, like overshoot is a big lesson that I've learned. Anyway, another factor in all of this is to work on a team basis. As you know, I've worked very closely with you and then, of course, other members of our team in Knoxville. And the teamwork makes the dream work sounds a little trite, but it's really true. This is not something to do just on your own. So that's another factor for me. The whole team situation has been critical. And
awesome.
The 5 points a month, I think it's a great incentive that LegalShield has put together, and the BMW is a great thing to have. And the opportunity to have a car like that and be able to get help with paying for it, I mean, it's just super. I just take my hat off to LegalShield. And yeah. I think that's my answer to your other question too. It's just sticking to the basics, do what Darcy says in terms of your habits. And as John says, keep the main thing the main thing. And that's the big thing that I'm learning, is to keep the main thing the main thing. In other words, those phone calls, those emails, to book those appointments, that's just critical, basic, everyday stuff.
Awesome. Well, good deal. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the call. Congratulations on your success, and congratulations on going platinum already for December. Good deal. Okay, so we will go ahead and just wrap up the call here in just 1 second. Let me see if this lovely lady is on the call real quick. Miss Katie, are you out there? Did you want to share anything relative to the call real quick?
I am. Can you hear me, Brielle?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Well, I am thrilled, obviously, about this webinar, and we are so blessed because we get to work from our home. We get to work with a team of people that are of like minds and that are positive and encouraging, and we get to empower and change people's lives with our services, and we get to also build this incredible business that we get to take vacations and time off when we have worked so hard to help other people. And I just wanted to go over from, how it's so important, like Bob was saying, and you were saying how you start your day. And I think all of us have some kind of a program, and if we don't, I just wanted to tell people about a book that I found that it's called The Miracle Morning. And I don't know if people have ever read that book, but it's a 30-day life transformation challenge. You literally, it's some of the same things that we've always talked about, having that attitude of gratitude. And the point is with this book, you literally have a 6-step process every morning. And we've talked about such as, he calls it the lifesavers. And this man is Hal Elrod. And what you do is you literally spend every morning before 8 o'clock in the morning. It's amazing. Ever since I read this book, I'll tell you, I used to, set my alarm at 6 or 6:30. Now, I mean, I'm usually waking up on my own a lot of times by 5:30. And when you read this book, it gets your mindset into having that miracle morning where you will spend time in silence, which is, to me, is in prayer and in gratitude. You literally say affirmations. You visualize how you see and want your business, your life, your family, your future to be. You exercise, because obviously that's going to help you with endorphins and mood elevators and just stress reliever and increase your energy. You need to read, like even with our 10 core commitments of personal development, reading 10 pages a day or listening to a live book that is going to encourage you. And then scribe, it's pretty funny, he says he couldn't say journal because it wouldn't fit into his lifesavers lettering. So scribing is journaling, what you've done for the day, what your goal is, what you want, and just putting down on paper what you want. So the get-to mentality is absolutely critical in the sense that we get to empower people, protect people, and show people a different way and be able to just impact people's lives all the way around. So this book, I just wanted to share with people because there is like the 30-day life transforming challenge, and if people were to go get this book, go to Amazon, it's like maybe $10. They have sample affirmations that you say in the morning and before you go to bed. It is the quickest, fastest read, and because the man that wrote this book literally was almost killed, hit by a drunk driver. I mean, it's like an unbelievable story, but it just, the title of the book in itself I thought was just amazing, and we are creating miracles throughout our company and throughout our country and our communities with providing them with equal justice. So I'm thrilled. I'm so proud of you, Brielle. It just touches my heart to see you just thrive and grow and become just the God-given, beautiful child of God that you are, and I'm just proud of you, and I'm so excited about your success and for everyone's success on the team. So I'll send it back to you and wish everyone to have a happy Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe that Thanksgiving is next week, but have a blessed Thanksgiving to everyone. I'll be thinking of all of you, and back to you, girl.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Katie. You're incredible. Appreciate your words. That sounds like a phenomenal book, and I can't wait to get it. So hopefully today was a blessing and an encouragement and helpful to all of you out there. I do just want to say, once again, on behalf of my parents who are traveling today, they love you, they believe in you, we love you, we believe in you, and we're honored to just be a part of this incredible company and have the opportunity to lead such an incredible organization of people. It really is a family, and whether you're new in the business or you have been in the business for a while, I don't think you can hear that. I don't think you can hear that enough. So we appreciate your leadership. We believe in your goals and your dreams. I highly encourage you to push through the end of the year. I know for me it's been easy to get on cruise control and just kind of enjoy, the holidays, which is important, but, finish those goals, keep on pressing towards accomplishing, the goals you have for the rest of this year so we can start 2016 strong. Thank you so much again for being on the call this morning. Have a wonderful and blessed Thanksgiving. We won't be having a call next week, obviously, because of the holidays, so we'll look forward to reconnecting in December. But you all are amazing leaders. God bless. We love you dearly. Have a great day, and we will talk soon. Thank you so much. Bye.